जब आप ICSE ज्वाइन करते हैं तब निंजा प्रोफाइल से अगर ज्वाइन करते हैं तो 3.25 की सैलरी होगी। आपको अमाउंट कितना हाथ में आएगा? आपको अमाउंट आएगा 22-23 हज़ार। सैलरी स्लिप मैं आपको दिखा रही हूँ, वेट करिए। जो मेरी सैलरी आई थी वो 19-20 हज़ार आई थी फर्स्ट मंथ की। मेरी सैलरी थी, बेसिक सैलरी मुझे 14,784 होता है जब आप ज्वाइन करते हैं, 14,784 रुपये, ठीक है। फिर HRA हमें मिलता है 5,914 रुपीज़। तो जो टोटल अर्निंग मेरी बनती है वो 25,140 रुपये की बनती है। उसके बाद कुछ PF जो डिडक्ट हुआ था वो 1,774 रुपये डिडक्ट हुआ था, 1774 प्रोफेशनल टैक्स डिडक्ट हुआ था 130 रुपीज़ का, लेबर वेलफेयर 3 रुपीज़।
People do not like to hear truth. People do not like to see stark reality. But one day you will realize it. The snippet I have just now shown you is to give you a first-hand idea about the salary most of the students after coming out of engineering colleges are going to get today. And this is in the range of 20,000, 22, 23 or 25,000 in hand. It may depend and vary a little bit based on the city that you are in, but on an average it is going to be 22,000 per month. Now this sector is the highest manpower taking sector. This is the manpower hungry sector in the engineering sector, and it is called ITES sector, information technology enabled services sector. Most of the kids are absorbed into this sector. This sector is tremendously important because most of the engineering pass out students, no matter which stream they are in, it could be computer sciences, it could be communication, it could be instrumentation engineering, it could be core sectors such as mechanical, civil, for that matter, any other subject, any other stream, they would ultimately join this ITES sector because ITES sector is the highest employer today. Why? Because it started in 1991-92 when IT sector started booming and product based services started floating up. What is that? For a particular company, for a particular mode of operation, a particular set of coding and software is necessary to be developed. For instance, it's a product actually. For that software, you are working with 5 or 6 different teams to ultimately provide the company the software solution. So this is not applicable, this solution, this particular product is not applicable to other companies necessity, business model and working style is quite different. So from project to project, or the requirement or the contract that the company has given, it is called the project here. From project to project, the entire mode of operation of software making and distribution keeps changing. Therefore, maximum number of human utilization into this sector is being done and has been done over some 20-25 years of time. What happened long ago after 1992, between 95 and 2010, it was a great boom because it was expanding tremendously. And what Indians would ask, the people or the engineers belonging to US or the European countries will ask 20 times more. Therefore, most of the contracts came into the lap of the Indian companies such as TCS, Infosys, Wipro, Cognizant, etc. Many companies came up because they knew that they could utilize the manpower, they could have the manpower at a very cheap cost. So the main cost into ITS business is the cost of the employees. Here the cost of the employee is very less because Indian people charge very less, their expectation is very low compared to the European and the US people, and the offer is also very lucrative. So Indian companies started booming in those days and engineers started earning in lakhs and crores. That is truth. But the fact started changing with the passage of time. With these 20 years of experience, people rushed to become IT engineers. As a result, supply increased. As the supply increased, obviously the demand compared to it fell because more and more artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, cloud computing, blockchain development, every day there are changes coming up and they are cutting on the cost of the employees. As a result, less and less employees are being utilized, but companies getting the contract, it's okay, because there is huge supply and the technology is cutting the cost of the employee. So the requirement of employee kept shrinking over the last 5-6 years, and the demand remained just the same. As a result, what happened? The salary dropped. Many people were thrown out of the ITES sector. Most recently, you have heard many people have been ordered to leave the campus altogether in just 10-12 hours notice. This is a fact because companies do not require to spend after employees today. And you have already seen the initial payment of the employees. My point is, and ask yourself, can you live your life at a cost of 20,000 in hand salary per month? Remember, this salary is not going to go up exponentially because ITES sector has become extremely matured. Going forward, it is not going to create a mammoth number of job. Rather, the job demand will shrink. As a result, there will be more and more supply. Huge number of students are coming up. Huge number of engineers are queuing up for the job. As a result, very less number of payment, very less salary is going to be accrued through this business, through this sector, ITES. Another sector related to this IT is called tech sector. Tech sector, do not mingle ITES sector with tech sector. Tech is Google, Facebook, which is Meta today. All right, so these are the areas where they create a product which does not require to be refurbished every time, which does not require to be reproduced every time, like the ITS sector. It's a product based company. Therefore, they create a product, give it and deliver it to the client. Then next client comes up, which is a next project, again a next set of product, next thinking. Everything is quite different. So the products are different, they are customized. But in case of Google, you create once, its scalability is tremendous. It will go on being used many times over by many people just once it is created. In this way, Facebook, Meta, Google, name them all these are called tech companies because they are less manpower requirement company, because only once a person is necessary to create this product, which is basically a creativity based plus engineering and technology based product. Once it is produced, the machine will take control of that and people will not be any longer necessary. And this formula, this software or this thing which has been created for the tech company will be used many times over years of time. Only little tinkering is being done by the very less number of engineers, so their intake is very less. They do not employ huge number of people. Naturally, for the common students to get into this company, tech company, is tending to be nil. So of course tech company will give you enormous amount of salary, but getting into tech company will remain a dream for the majority of the students. Today I am going to speak about the state of affairs of the science students in the field of engineering. I have noticed since class 5 or 6, people start taking pride in telling themselves, I am a science student. He is an elite because he is a science lover. He would start saying that I love physics so much. My kid, he secures 100 of 100 in mathematics. My dear, it is class 7, 8 or 9. Yet the heat has not arrived. So people take pride in saying that I am a science kid, and I have noticed that the commerce students would say, oh, मुझे तो business में दिलचस्पी लगती है, so science अच्छा नहीं लगता because I will make money. So these kind of people will start telling you, I think हटके, it is different. But think of the humanities, they will remain mum, they will not tell you anything, and they will feel so downtrodden. Even their parents and relatives would start saying or showing them that they are good for nothing, as if education is not meant for them. Science, I love science, I am going to take science. What for? If you ask the parent, the student, what is your aim? IIT, MBBS. Now if you make a thorough research, you will realize that IIT core sector has no value. Like civil, mechanical, instrumentation, these things will not do anything. Some 35,000 is the average salary which are being given in the campusing. So forget about that. So ultimately, only 7% core sectors are into core sectors. 93% statistics says core sector people join ITES. कहीं जाके कोड बना रहा होगा. So these people are not working as civil engineer. They are working into the ITS sector as code bana raha hoga. So this kind of thing you can understand that you have to focus on computer based studies or stream like cloud computing, AI based, blockchain and all that, and connected with computer science. IIT, make a comparison. Go to internet and make a thorough search. I have seen on an average, exaction is not my point in this discussion, 1 out of 10,000 competitors get into them. I'm talking about MBBS, Sarkari. I'm talking about free sort of education or subsidized sort of education where you can get your kid into an MBBS doctor, just an MBBS doctor at a cost of some 5-6 lakhs over 5 years of time, maybe 6-7 lakhs. I'm not talking about private colleges or universities. It is 1 crore and beyond. If you contact them, they would say it is 70 lakhs or 60 lakhs. Initially, to drag you into their tentacles, they will show you 50 lakhs or some 1 lakh per semester kind of. Don't fall into the trap. After your 5 years journey in the private institution, you will find out you have given up more than 1 or 1.5 CR just to get your kid an MBBS doctor. Now, if you have made your kid an MBBS doctor at a cost of 1.5 CR, which at a cost at an interest of 8% per annum, which any standard bank will provide you nowadays, will transfer into rupees 75,000 per month. My point is, if you put your 1.5 CR into bank, safe deposit, you will get 75,000 per month as an interest. Go and make a search. Will any MBBS house staff get this amount in any medical college? On an average 30,000 per month. Will an RMO, he will join as an RMO into any private medical college because house staffship is so much on demand, so many doctors are coming up that competition has started into this one also. So most of the times they are thrown out after 2 years. Where will they go? 12 hours, 15 hours they will be made to slog as an RMO in a private medical college. 30,000 per month. Average salary I am talking about. But if you put it into bank, 75,000. Does it make any sense to you? Oh, going forward it will become an ogive. Supply side is increasing. Look at the future. Huge volume of doctors are becoming more and more unemployed, plainly speaking. However, our discussion today is not private college, Sarkari college. So, Sarkari MBBS, second IIT, 10,000 competitors. Your kid must skim aside, SKIM, skim aside to qualify for one seat. My point is, just ask yourself, are you such a make and model? Do you have that capacity to produce yourself to be the real elite one out of 10,000? See, there is a chapter in mathematics called probability and expectation. Search it. If you go to the higher level of mathematics, not the applied mathematics, classical mathematics, you will see probability and expectation. Every big businesses depend on that. Insurance sector depends on it. It says how much is their chances of incidence and how much is the possibility of failure. There is 10,000 times chances of failure in your life, which means 10,000 times you appear in joint entrance examination, you will fail. There is only one chance that you will score result for IIT or MBBS Sarkari. Am I clear to you? So think about yourself and be very grounded. I am a science student and I am elite kind of attitude or snobbish thinking is only leading you and pushing you into the herd, H-E-R-D, herd. One sheep, lakhs of sheep. One sheep goes and lakhs of sheep follows. They do not get any grass. It is a herd mentality. Try to think practically if this science inclination is going to lead you into an abyss of underemployment. I am coming to this point now. See, there are two types of intakes. One, you qualify on all India basis, main, advanced and all that, 75% percentile, elite class of students, IIT. I'm talking about engineering today. Our discussion is on engineering. There is another side. You can get NIT also. Suppose you cannot qualify in IIT, you will get NIT. IIT at par is not NIT campus, but NIT will somehow give you a good chance, a good foothold, and you can start your journey with the dint of, by the dint of your capacity in the work sector, you can raise yourself to a better height. So IIT and Chota Bhai NIT is fine, but I'm not talking about this part. Most of the students will fail to qualify here. All right. So another type of intake in the engineering colleges, private engineering colleges. Government has some control over them. Government says, all right, because you are a private entrepreneur, I told you after 1992 the demand into this sector increased. That made people to open up colleges, and in any place like mushrooms, such engineering colleges came up. Result is the quality dropped. Poor faculty, they maintain a professor, a lecturer at a cost of 15,000, 10,000 per month. What kind of professor he is, you can understand. So facility, no facility, they are teaching them profit is today, coding today, AI has already taken up coding. So when you come out of 99% of these colleges, you will find you are unemployed. Why? Because industry will tell you you are unemployable. You do not have the faculty to work in the sector which is presently on demand, because কলেজে যেগুলো শেখানো হয়েছে that thing is no longer applied at this point in the engineering sector, in the work sector. That is the reason why most of these people are unemployable. Point one. Point two, when you go to take admission into this, because government has already told them that you will take certain volume of students from our competitive examination, so they have allocated some portion like state joint entrance examination. This portion, the best students will come to take admission into that seat is allocated, rest is paid. So you have to pay, plainly speaking, for a very mediocre student who belongs to only 10,000, who is an ordinary fellow. He will appear in All India Joint Entrance Examination, State Joint Entrance Examination. On an average, think yourself as an average student. First of all, be very grounded. Then what will you do? You will end up taking the management seat into the private engineering college. Now, if the private engineering college is situated in a remote district, in a village, obviously it will take you over 4 years and a half period of time, 10-12 lakhs total package. They will tell you anything, but ultimately you will end up giving this one. Remember what I tell you, because when you talk to them, it will appear to be very low. But once you are taken into their tentacles after 4 years and a half, you will tell me how much you have ended up paying them. So in a remote place, it will be 10-12 lakhs. In a big city, well accredited institution like AAA, it will be as much as 25 lakhs. So be prepared to pay as much as 12 lakhs, between 12 lakhs and 25 lakhs through 4 years and a half. That is the fate. That is the fate. सरकारी नहीं मिला तो क्या करोगे? कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा, इंजीनियर तो बनना पड़ेगा. People will be proud to say मेरा kid engineer है. In today's life, they are as good as BSc pass. In some 20 years ago, if anyone said that I'm BSc pass, as good as that. So either he will be employed as a salesman, working as a salesman, but engineer, or working as an accountant, engineer, because they are unemployed. Basically, most of these kids will stand in the queue where ITES companies have declared interview. Most of them will fail to qualify. There will be 6-7 layers of interview. They will be thrown out of any of the layers, but they will keep trying. Frustrated, they will end up taking any job between 15,000, 20,000 per month salary. For an average and a very large chunk of students today vying for VIE, VIE means they want to become and show themselves as the elite class of science, will become a level of 20,000 per month. This is fact. I am not trying to scare you. I am showing you the truth, the practical life. And I have been over 40 years of teaching experience seeing such students, because you have your kid who is 15 years old today and you are thinking of becoming something. Future is flowery to you, but future is not actually rosy. I see, because I see that student who is now 25 years old, 30 years old, 35 years old. I have relationship going forward, what is actually going to happen in his or her life, how much his or her parents have spent, and what is actually the return of such expenditure. That is the statistics I am getting every day. But parents between 45-50 age group do not have that exposure. They know only their kids and their future is very, very flowery. So with this, I have to end this video today. I know many one of you will differ with me because I have hit your dream. I have shown you the truth. People do not like to hear truth. People do not like to see stark reality. But one day you will realize it. My objective is not to put you under fear. My objective is to show you the reality so that you can take up the right strategy right from now. There are many avenues, there are many other places where your child, if properly guided, can become damn successful. I of course provide career counseling to my students, those students who are obviously my students, free of cost. So I tell them which one is better for them, because as a teacher I have the insight to understand the student, what kind of faculty the student inherently has. Everybody has got at least some talent. So I know what kind of inclination the student has. Usually teachers have the access to understand such kind of thing because teachers know the student psychology very clearly. So you have to be very careful and guide the kid in such a manner that there are many other places which are growing. Any sector which has already grown over 20 years and matured and now sliding down, do not get into it with a herd mentality. Instead, think which one is going to grow and get into that bus. In 10-15 years time, your kid will become insanely rich. You must have been through this video. You must have liked it, although you may not like what I have just now said. But do subscribe it. You will come to know many such observations of mine. I am not speaking all these from books or journals. I am telling what I have gathered over years of my experience. This is the essence, this is core of what I have found out over these years. And I can see also the people who are employed, how they are facing troubles and difficulties. Don't forget to share this video among your peers. We will meet again very soon.